Hi everybody, welcome in. Hi. Happy Wednesday, because today is Wednesday. Let people get in, but we're gonna get started very shortly. We're gonna be talking about today breaking the cycle of diabetes, inflammation, and insulin resistance, and learning about healing naturally. Obviously, that's what we do. So if you are new here and do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I'm here to help you be able to not only understand the actual and authentic design of your body and how it heals itself naturally, but also getting to the root cause of the issues that you're having so that you not only can heal, but you can stay into a healed space so that you're no longer suffering or having to depend on prescriptions, having to go back and forth to the doctor, depend on surgeries or whatever else that you have going on that is diminishing your quality of life. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. Because a lot of people don't realize how many people currently right now are suffering just from insulin resistance in our society alone. And so us getting the stats and the statistics isn't enough, but it is a good picture visualization to see how bad it's really gotten in our society and where we are going. So if you don't know this statistic already, I've been talking about it for the past over at least a month, I want to say, about the fact that over 90 million Americans are dealing with insulin resistance, right? Hi. It is the afternoon for me now. Good afternoon. And so over 90 million Americans alone are dealing with insulin resistance, right? And so out of that 90 million, at least half of them don't even know that they have insulin resistance, which is really amazing. Not amazing. It's really crazy. That's the word I'm thinking of. It's crazy to think 90 million Americans are dealing with insulin resistance, and more than half of them don't even know that they're insulin resistant. They don't know the signs of insulin resistance. And that's truly insane to think about, because that's more than a third of our population that does not, or not more than a third of our population that doesn't know, but that's a third of our population that's insulin resistant. So that means that there's at least a quarter of people that don't understand the fact of what insulin resistance is, what it looks like, the onset of it, and how it impacts the body. And so that's really not only a scary fact, but also an eye-opener to realize that we don't understand how we're throwing off our blood sugar every single day, putting our body in a hormonal imbalance, and then not supporting ourselves to heal and get away from that space and back to our natural design, right? So insulin resistance is the silent storm of onset of you developing diabetes. It's a sign that you have inflammation, and it's also understanding that you are in a health crisis, because a lot of people aren't putting two and two together, that when you're throwing off your blood sugar every single day to the point where you develop insulin resistance, yes, that is a crisis. That's a problem. That is how you put your body in a constant fight state, and that's not healthy. When your body is constantly having to fight, whether you're eating, what you're putting on your body, and it's doing this every single day, do you realize the fact that your body has nothing else to do besides panic day in and day out? That's going to cause your internal organs to work overtime. This is going to cause your mental health. And this is also going to cause you to have the effect of developing more diseases, because that is trauma. That is trauma that you are putting on your body internally, which is going to lead you to having tumors. It's going to lead you to having different type of mental illness issues. It's going to lead you to not having any energy. It's going to lead you to hating your life every single day. And majority of society, when you look at us, what do we have? A bunch of people with anxiety, depression, panic attacks. You see a bunch of people that are mentally fogged, fatigued, literally sitting here every single day with no energy, depending on coffee, depending on energy drinks. And you see a whole bunch of people that are dealing with diseases and illnesses that they don't know how to cure, but instead are managing with prescriptions. So does that sound like a health crisis to you? Because to me, yes, that sounds like a health crisis. That sounds like an actual definition of what a health crisis would be, right? So why is it not a common thing for us to realize that insulin resistance is a heavy issue that we need to deal with and tackle first? It's not something to put on the back burner. It's not something to question and move on. That is a crisis because your body is built up with toxins, because you really don't realize how toxic these habits that you have are, because we think we eat in moderation. So you think, okay, I can eat these chips even though they have these toxic ingredients. I eat Oreos even though they have titanium dioxide, right? And then you're sitting there thinking, well, I only eat this about every other couple of weeks, or I maybe eat it once a month. But in between that time, do you cleanse? Do you flush on the regular? Do you eat foods that don't make you inflamed? Do you feed parasites the other 25 days of the year? 25 days of the month. That's the 25 days of the year. 25 days of the month. Do you feed your parasites in and day out? Because majority of society does. You feed yourself parasites all the time. You sit here and you give yourself toxic foods, which is going to, in return, help these parasites be able to produce babies. Also feeding yourself meats, not being able to have a healthy gut balance. So then you have a digestive tract that is full of a bunch of crap. And so this is also feeding parasites. And you don't realize that this is causing an overload of inflammation inside of your gut, inside of your digestive tract. Also a load of inflammation going on inside of your other organs. So your kidney, your liver, your pancreas. Your kidney is your filter for your blood. So if you're spiking your blood sugar every single day and multiple times a day with every time you eat, that means every single time you eat, now your blood sugar spiked. Now your kidney's having to overwork. Your kidney also is helping be able to filter out your blood, which also in return helps your pancreas when it's trying to sit here and support your body in converting glucose into energy. So now you have no energy, on top of the fact that all your organs are working overtime. This is going to cause more inflammation. So I just listed at least 3, if not 4 different areas where you're getting inflammatory issues happening inside of your body. And that's not even addressing the fact of everything that you do as far as food that you eat and the products that you use putting on side of your body, not even including the things that you can't even control, like the air and things like that. That's not even covering that. But if you were supporting your body instead of wreaking havoc on your body, you wouldn't have to worry about that natural outside toxins, because your body would be sitting there supporting it and wouldn't have to worry about, oh my goodness, I have to detox my parasites with this cleanse, with this little tincture that I put in this bottle and they sold to me on TikTok Shop. You wouldn't have to worry about that. I don't take a tincture. I don't take a supplement. I don't have to have medications. I don't have to have prescriptions. And do you understand why? Because when you have nothing for the disease or the illness to feed on inside of your body, it won't thrive. Every single day you come in contact with cancer. You can come in contact with illnesses. You can come in contact with what happened in 2020. The only reason why it thrives in the body that you have is because it has something to feed off of and continue to grow off of. That's the same reason why, for instance, how people can go through this flu season that we have every single year, never get a flu shot and never have the flu, but somebody that has something for flu to feed off of because they've gotten the shot, they're constantly sick all the time, and they constantly have a bunch of inflammation and mucus, you realize very quickly, oh, that's because it's something they have that feeds off of it. It can feed off of something. When it has nothing to feed off of, this whole germ theory that they teach us in science class, does not work. Because you know why? They teach us from a space of everybody's sick, nobody knows how to treat their body correctly, everybody's overloaded with mucus. So yes, every single time you come in contact with a germ, a flu, or whatever else, yes, you're going to get sick. But when you realize very quickly, it has to have something to feed off of and to thrive off of. Because if it doesn't, all of the cells in your body that are supposed to replicate and fight off germs and illness are working, and they don't have to work overtime. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's a quick little shift for them to be able to flush your body out and keep on moving with their day. I'm saying this as somebody who has been plant-based for 4 whole years. I don't get sick. I might get a sniffle, but I don't get sick. I go to the doctor. I don't get diagnosed with anything. They tell me I look healthy. I am healthy. I go to the dentist. They tell me my teeth are healthy. And you know why? Because I support my body with the foods that I eat and the products that I use. I don't make myself toxic or poison myself. There is no reason for you to sit here and believe that your body cannot heal itself. Because if it's not healing, that means you're doing something that blocks it. That's as simple as that. And so when you realize that you've been wreaking havoc on your body with this diet culture that you believe in and that you fall in the category of the toxic habits that you have, and you're constantly wreaking havoc on your body, you realize that you need to step back and finally take control of what is happening, not only inside of your body, but also what is happening externally. And it's possible for you to do that, right? So, like I said, we heal using food as our medicine and understanding what toxic products and habits that we have that have led us here to this point in figuring out the root cause of our issue. So, stick with me during this live. Like I said, like you've been doing. Thanks so much for these likes. I really appreciate it. And we'll break down what is insulin resistance and how it's damaging your body. We're going to talk about the role of toxicity in this whole process and inflammation as well in creating diseases. And then understanding how you can reverse these and understanding how food can naturally help you heal. So, if you stay with me, I'm going to share the full roadmap that you need and how you break that down and support yourself in that. So just work with me. And if you are watching this later on YouTube, because I do post all my past lives on YouTube, know that one, if they take TikTok away from us, we will be still going live. Follow me on all my other socials, subscribe to my YouTube, and drop a comment if you're watching this on YouTube later on. I will respond to your comments on my YouTube videos. I always do. And if you are right now, right here in the TikTok live currently, I would like to know where are you listening from, and if you are suffering from diabetes, insulin resistance, or overloaded inflammation, and you have something that you have any questions about, I do answer questions. If it's something that's unrelated, please, I will answer it at the end. But if it's related to the topic and what we're talking about currently right at the moment, I will answer questions as we go along. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the health crisis and what we're facing, right? So our society is in a health crisis. Like we just talked about, there's literally over 90 million people that don't even realize that they're insulin resistant. So when chronic illnesses like diabetes have skyrocketed the way that they have in our society, you can look outside and count 10 people, right? So out of every 10 people that you count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? You count. Out of every 10 of them, one of them has been diagnosed with diabetes and not realizing the fact that they've been pre-diabetic for years. They've been insulin resistant for years because they don't know the signs. Because here's the thing, diabetes isn't just a disease that happens overnight. It's not just a disease, but rather it's a symptom. It's a bunch of symptoms that lead up to you having a chronic illness, a chronic disease. It's a bunch of symptoms to show you that something is off inside of your body and you're blocking your healing. So when you realize very quickly that, yes, there are a bunch of issues going on, and I've had signs and symptoms leading me up to this, and I've been ignoring them or I didn't know them, either which one, you realize very quickly that not only have you been in a inflamed state for quite a while, but also the fact that your body has shown you that it's breaking down and it's suffering. So as you go along, your body is breaking itself down when you're not doing anything about it. Slowly, year after year, from the inside out, you are slowly decaying. Your body shows you different signs of you literally not only being inflamed, but also your organs being overworked. That's the reason why you're so fatigued all the time. That's the reason why you feel like you have no energy. That's the reason why you sit here and you have all these panic attacks and anxiety, and you're sitting here trying to figure out, like, why am I suddenly anxious out of nowhere and you haven't even done anything? Nobody's been around you. And you know why? It's because your body internally is trying to survive. When you go to sleep and you're sitting there talking about how I can't go to sleep for hours, I lay here or I wake up all throughout the night, I don't know what's going on. Do you realize that's your body sign of telling you that you've been fighting all night? You wake up and you're so tired. It's because your body was trying to stay alive throughout the night, and it's been fighting all night. So when you make the connection of the fact that thinking about toxicity in the space of how you refer to relationships and environments and everything else, but you don't realize that you have toxic habits, this is when you need to make the connection between the fact that toxicity is more than just other people. Toxicity also happens when you're built up with toxins inside of your body and you do nothing about it, and you keep feeding. You keep feeding the parasites. You keep feeding tumors. You keep feeding issues that are going on. Because that's what cysts are. Cysts, fibroids are onsets of tumors. And you keep feeding them with sugar. You keep feeding them with these processed snacks. You keep feeding them with these unhealthy fats. You keep feeding them with dairy. You keep feeding it with a bunch of meat. So you have to understand that in order for you to realize that you need or rather realize what change you need to have. The foods that you eat, the products that you use, and the fact that you've neglected your health all need to be reflected on. What foods do you eat that have led you here? Because the foods that you eat every single day is the problem. What products do you use? Do you use non-toxic products and actually know what ingredients are going inside of your products? Do you know how to read the labels? Probably not. That's a second issue. Do you understand how you've been putting your health on the back burner? Because if you are not in the space of healing consistently, you put your health on the back burner. There's no question if you've done it. It's a matter of how long. Because the majority of society puts their health on the back burner because you know why? It's so quick and easy for me to go to Chick-fil-A. It's so quick and easy for me to go to McDonald's. It's so quick and easy for me to go to these fast food places or these restaurants and go get food and don't even care about what's going into the food, how much hatred was served on my plate, all these different things. And biblically, it's literally talking about the fact that better is a plate full of vegetables of love rather than a fatted calf of hatred. And yet people sit here and keep eating a bunch of food that people serve that they don't even care. People don't care about what they slap on your plate. They don't care how they treat your food as long as they get a paycheck, and they're not even really happy with that paycheck. And you think that that's a plate of love? No. And you eat that energy. And do you know what that energy shows itself into a form of? Toxins. Those toxins lead you to having tumors. Like I said, it's an endless process of inflammation and toxic habits. So you have to reflect to get to the root cause of the issue. So the choices that you have are causing inflammation. The choices that you choose every single day are causing inflammation inside of your body, which is going to be the root cause of your illnesses, chronic diseases, including diabetes. So, studies show that about 75% of chronic illnesses are linked to inflammation alone. These are caused by your lifestyle habits. 75% of chronic illnesses are caused by inflammation. And it's probably higher than that. Let's just really be honest. 88% of Americans have an issue with metabolic dysfunction, according to the CDC, by the way. Metabolic dysfunction, and that's almost all of us. 88%. That's less than 15% of people that actually know about the fact that the reason why you have all these dysfunctions in your mental health, in your body's health, when it comes to your organs functioning, is tied to what you eat. That's less than 15% of Americans. And yet we don't understand this. We don't see the problem. So I saw somebody comment about inflammation. Let me know in the chat what you have going on right now currently when it comes to the things that you eat and the things that you consume or you put on your body, the things that you consume. What has caused a negative effect on your body? How has your body been impacted? I saw somebody saying something about inflammation earlier, and they were talking about the fact that they have a lot of inflammation. And so this live is going to help you be able to not only deal with that inflammation, but heal from it. Thank you so much for the likes and the follows, guys. I see you. I do. I see you. Because you have to understand that this inflammation is leading you down the path of having insulin resistance. It's leading you down the path of gaining weight. And those two hand in hand are going to cause you to have diabetes. Those two hand in hand are going to cause other issues and issues going on inside of your body, like you developing heart disease, fatty liver, kidney failure, which kidney failure and diabetes go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. They're symptoms of each other. And so when you realize very quickly that you don't even realize what insulin resistance is, so you didn't even really see the signs, then you'll start to sit there and question, okay, so what is insulin resistance? Let's really break down. What is insulin resistance? You have insulin resistance type 2 diabetes. So insulin resistance, if you do not know, is when your body's cells stop responding to insulin. Because when it naturally responds to insulin, then it's going to convert the glucose that it responds to into energy. But when you're in an insulin resistant state, because you have too much sugar and your blood sugar is spiked, it can't sit there and respond to this insulin. So instead of it being able to use it, all it can do is try to flush. And so this is the reason why you have more sugar cravings and you have less energy. So this is caused by a hormonal disruption to your blood sugar. which in return is going to cause your body to overproduce insulin to try to combat the issue. And this compensation that it's trying to do is going to lead you to having fatigue, which is because your cells aren't converting glucose into energy. Excuse me. It's going to cause weight gain, specifically around the belly area, lower belly area. It's also causing inflammation around your organs, which are causing damage to not only those organs but also your tissue. Thank you for these likes. I really appreciate it. So let's break down the damage that you are causing onto these organs, right? So let's talk about your liver first. Your liver is going to have to work overtime because, like I said, all of your organs are working overtime to try to keep you alive. Your liver is going to work overtime because it's trying to get this excess sugar to turn into some type of fat. It's trying to convert it, and it can't because, like I said, you have an overload. And then what it is converting, it's still too much for your liver. So then in return, this is going to cause you to have fatty liver disease. This is going to cause you to have a condition that is affecting over 40% of people in our society right now. Thank you for the gift. I really appreciate it. Because it affects over 40% of people with insulin resistance alone. And so those people that have that fatty liver disease also are tied to them having insulin resistance. Yeah, chicken was okay, but maybe the chicken. Chicken causes inflammation and it feeds type 2 diabetes. I've talked about that. If you want to know more and see what details I dive into about talking about how how chicken feeds type 2 diabetes and talking about the studies that go into that, I do have a masterclass replay. If you DM me replay, I can send you that masterclass. I don't have it listed out there, but I will send you the link for you to be able to purchase that replay. It's about, I think I have it listed, if I can remember what the link is, I think it's about $40. You get that replay with it, and then you also get my Purge the Poison ebook with that as well. So you do get that. You can get a Klarna Firmer Afterpay, but you would have to DM me. That link is not linked in my bio. I took that down. If you book a one-on-one with me, you do get the one-on-one, which is a about 40-minute to 60-minute call with me, as well as you do get that masterclass replay of understanding how to plant-based mastery. Basically, it's a Purge the Poison plant-based mastery, and you also get that Purge the Poison ebook. So let's talk about the pancreas now. Let's break down the pancreas. I see your wave. Hi. How are you today? I kicked this. I was trying to move it back. Okay, so your pancreas. Right now, your pancreas, thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate it. Your pancreas is becoming overworked as well. Obviously, it's working overtime. And so this is causing it to produce more and more insulin for your body to try to convert into energy, to try to help your liver be able to convert this energy into fat, because at the end of the day, it has to get rid of it, right? So eventually it can't keep up with this. So you're going to lead yourself to your blood sugar levels skyrocketing, obviously. And then also it's going to cause you to having different issues when it comes to your pre-diabetic symptoms, which are going to lead you to having diabetes. Okay. So not only is it affecting, like I just said, it's causing your liver damage, it's causing your pancreas damage, but let's dive into your kidneys now. So your kidneys have an excess, your kidneys cannot survive in this excess sugar damaging lifestyle that you have given it, right? So those tiny blood vessels that are in your kidneys are leading you to having kidney disease because those tiny little itty bitty blood vessels are full of sugar. They're not the normal blood vessels that go and filter through your kidneys and they're filtered and they're used and they're able to replicate and to be fine. No. They're in your kidneys sitting there like your kidneys are like, I cannot let you be released. I have to figure out how to get rid of all this sugar. And so this is going to lead you to having kidney disease and also complications with your diabetes. Thank you for the follow. And so I see your question, and I will address it in just a minute because that is not what we're talking about right now. I don't see why, because all of these people that have all these titles of a nurse and everything else, they don't help you. So is that title and credential really going to affect you with what you do and what decision you make? Which I'm going to answer that in a minute, but I want to leave you with that question. Is that really going to affect you? Because the same people that have the title of a PhD, a doctor, or a nurse are the ones that are poisoning you. So you really care about a credential right now? I'm just saying. Anywho, when I'm speaking facts. Okay, so with your gut microbiome becomes unbalanced. So this is going to cause you to have issues with your digestion. Obviously, we see in society, we have a bunch of people that are dealing with IBS symptoms right now. This is going to increase the inflammation going inside of your body, because not only are you going to have issues with your gut biome being able to digest all the food that you're eating, but also your digestive tract, which is full of parasites, and it's being clogged up. So the parasites have more dead meat to feed off of, dairy to feed off of, and it's causing inflammation, and it's making it harder for your body to regulate your blood sugar. Does this sound familiar to you? Fatigue, brain fog, cravings, sugar cravings specifically. If this sounds familiar to you and you suffer from any of these, fatigue, brain fog, sugar cravings, or just general cravings overall, or overload of excess sugar, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know right now. Let me see what y'all are talking about. You said, hi Deanna, you said, what do you eat? I think I've sent you a couple of links. I tell you this all the time. If you want to know exactly what I eat and how I make my plant-based meals, because we've had this conversation before, you can click the link in my bio. I have 2 cookbooks, literally in there to show you how to eat plant-based, as well as the fact that if you want a detailed one-on-one, we can talk about getting you in for a one-on-one. But I'm not going to keep saying the same thing. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Like I said, like, it's just, I've given you what I have to help you with, and then all the other free content that I give you, showing you healthy proteins and things like that. So I got you. I got you. Fly Lady said, absolutely. I don't know what it was too, but absolutely. You're just going with it. I just came on your live, wanted to know more about you. Well, since you just came here, hi, my name is Kendra. I'm a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I don't have a specific degree in health necessarily. Oh, I mean, my degree is in health. Let me specify. I don't have a degree in a medical setting, but I went to school for psychology, graduated in psychology. So we do learn about the whole internal systems, because it does go along with psychology. It's a very, as you know, it's a very open, kind of career path to go down. And so during that time, you do learn about the body, you learn about the brain, I learned about the eyes, I learned about all of the internal systems basically during that time. And then it sparked my interest to realize very quickly of the fact that we're not taking care of our body, because not only did I get a degree in psychology, but my minors were in human health and performance and mental health services. So as I started to break down everything that they were teaching me during the program that I went through, and how everybody goes through the same programming and they learn these things that they teach us, and then I got away from that programming in 2020, when I graduated, and started to use both not only my education, but also the scientific journals that they don't make public knowledge, but is public access. I realized very quickly there's a reason why you go through a program. There's a reason why they program you for however many years to be a doctor. They program you while you're in school, because they need you to keep pushing the agenda of how to be healthy in their eyes and not healthy in the Most High's eyes, because that's the difference. That's the difference. The Most High himself put us here to be able to heal. He put us here to be able to know how to take care of our body and use fruits and vegetables that come from the earth for a reason. He did not put us here to slaughter animals. He put us here to have dominion over the earth. And dominion does not mean slaughter. That's the difference. People love to say dominion means we control and we can slaughter. That is not what dominion means. You have dominion over your household. Do you go around slaughtering people in your household? No. You have dominion over your family. You have dominion over your kids. This means you're supposed to take care of them, watch them, cater to them, help them. That's what that means. It does not mean you slaughter. And so the dominion that we take and we run with, the only time that we are sanctified in the Bible that actually was used for sacrifice and holidays was meats. That's the only time during the Bible that you see is either struggle, sacrifice, or when they were using for celebration. They weren't eating meat every single day. And so now we're taught in society, because we believe more in a food pyramid and a my plate than the Most High's design himself, that if I don't eat meat every single day, I'm not going to get enough. If I don't eat dairy every single day, I'm going to be malnourished. But you're malnourished now. That's the kicker. Y'all are so worried about plant-based proteins and iron and magnesium, but you're not getting that now with the lifestyle that you live. So why are you asking me what I get when I'm healthy? Like that's the difference. People will come talking to me and other people that I know that are plant-based about how they are not healthy. And then you bring up that you're plant-based and you're confused about the nutrients that I get from fruit and vegetables when you're not getting the nutrients from the meat and the dairy that you eat. I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to spit facts. That's why I said, like, it's not an argument because this is not opinion. This is facts. They say you're pre-diabetic. You probably are pre-diabetic. The diagnosis aren't a lie. The lie is the fact that you can't heal, but you have to manage. They're not lying to you. Well, sometimes they can be, but they're probably not lying to you about the diagnosis because, like I said, majority of people don't realize that they're insulin resistant. Or if I eat fruit, it's too much sugar for diabetes. Yeah, that's the kicker. When they're like, yeah, if you eat fruit and you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic, it's too much sugar. You weren't even eating fruit beforehand. So explain to me how it's too much sugar. Because if it was too much sugar, wouldn't it help you if you weren't eating fruit, but you weren't eating fruit before? And now they're bringing up the fruit that you don't even eat. No. Because if you're eating the seeded fruits of the earth and you're using a stabilizer, you won't have to worry about that. Claiming it is the first thing for you to be able to get away from. I'm not saying you have to claim it over your life, but rather come to the realization that there's something wrong. You don't have to claim the diagnosis. You don't have to take that and run with it for the rest of your life. But you have to address the issue and get to the root cause of the issue. Thank you so much for the gifts, he said. But go to cake, go to ice cream, go to cookies, eat all your carbs all day, every single day, eating bread early in the AM. You're eating pork early in the AM. You're sitting there eating all this inflammatory meat. You're sitting there saying, well, I only eat chicken, so it shouldn't be that bad, even though chicken feeds your diabetes. And so you're sitting here thinking that your habits are healthy, and they're not. If you're suffering from chronic pains, then that means you have an overload of inflammation. And so that is your body's way of telling you that you have an overload of inflammation, because if you're externally in pain, you're also internally in pain. That means your organs are suffering. And so you have to figure out, what are you doing that's causing inflammation, and how can you effectively release that? So let's talk about the role of inflammation and toxicity on our bodies, since we're bringing up inflammation. I do not have any advice of what you should ask to the doctor. No, I don't. I let them talk. The advice that I have for you, let them talk. Let them keep talking. Let them say what you have. And then once you get your diagnosis, research and understand what you can do about to heal it. Because at the end of the day, the doctor's not somebody you want to keep going to. It's just somebody that you go to get a checkup, make sure you're healthy. And if you're going more than just a checkup to make sure that you're healthy, then at this point, you know you're not healthy. If you have to go to the doctor more than once a year, you're not healthy. That's just simple as that. That's as simple as that. Because the one checkup should be the time to just tell you, hey, you're fine, you're cool, keep it pushing, I'll see you next year. But if they're telling you, oh, you have to come back, unless it's just to say you need blood work, it's been a while. But if you're coming back and they're telling you we have to run tests, we're questioning this, I don't know, you're not healthy. They're not going to tell you what's going on, but yeah. You're fasting now. What kind of fast are you doing? You said, I want to get to the root cause of my problem. You have to self-reflect. If you want to know how to get to the root cause of the problem like I did and self-reflect, that's something that you would have to work with me on, because self-reflection, I feel like everybody should know how to do it if you weren't taught that. It's simple as just you observing your habits and knowing how to read labels, knowing what foods are making you toxic. If you don't know these are things that I teach you with one-on-ones or booking me for my program and getting in my program. What do you eat normally? Rena, what do you eat? I think it says, it's Renee, sorry. I said your name, Renee. What do you eat normally? Because I started intermittent fasting in 2020 before I went plant-based. And intermittent fasting is not going to get you what you need if you're not eating a plant-based lifestyle. Intermittent fasting is good, but it's not going to help you be able to heal yourself. It's going to help you be able to manage. And that's what a lot of people don't understand with fasting, because fasting is something that people are kind of going to now, and it's great. It's something that you need to implicate in your life. That's something that is needed, but it's not going to help you be able to heal completely. It's going to help you manage what you have going on. And so it might make you feel good in that moment, but in the end, let's say that you don't fast in 10 years, you're not going to be healthy. You're going to be very uncomfortable, and you're going to be back to the space that you were before you started fasting. So living a plant-based lifestyle combined with you intermittent fasting or fasting and for a day or whatever else, that's going to help you. Let's see. Sure. Yeah. See, if you're still eating meat, and I don't know about dairy, but if you're still eating meat in general, that's still going to be feeding parasites as well as feeding other issues inside of your body. Because in order for you to completely diminish the parasites during your cleansing time, you have to be cleansing at least a good 24 hours plus. And then on top of that, when you go back and you eat meat again, you're just putting more parasites inside of your body. So like, do you see like how you're just going to keep going back and forth, and that causes imbalance inside the body, which is going to cause diseases and illnesses. So that's why I said that a lot of people, they look healthy on the outside, they might even start feeling good, and that causes imbalance inside the body, which is going to cause diseases and illnesses. So that's why I said that a lot of people, they look healthy on the outside, they might even start feeling good in that moment, but they don't realize that when you do these back and forth habits are going to cause you to sit here and have issues later on, because you might feel good right now, but this is not going to help you heal for long term. Yeah, she said, okay, I gotta leave that alone. Yeah, you gotta leave that alone. There's more than just the issue of inflammation, which, I mean, this is an inflammatory issue, but it's a deeper than just the parasite issue of inflammation. It also, seafood has parasites, it has microplastics, it has just different heavy metals in it, so you have to be wary of that. Same thing with meat, it can have parasites and microplastics, so it's just like, just avoid it. Gotta do mushroom for meat replacement. There are more than just mushrooms for meat replacement, but yes, mushrooms is one thing that you can do for meat replacement / like your healthy proteins, because that's the difference. People who eat meat think that it's a healthy protein, and it's not a healthy protein. If it literally throws off your balance, it causes inflammation. It can't be a healthy protein. It didn't make you feel good. Okay, so then yeah, if you're fasting already and it's not even making you feel good, then it's not working. Like, because that was me in 2020. I'm speaking from my experience as well as actual fact. In 2020, I was doing intermittent fasting, and the only thing that helped me be able to feel better and still was kind of like, was cutting certain things out. And then when I started cutting certain things out, I also started working out in between then every single day, because we were stuck in the house. And so it helped, but it didn't make me feel like I needed to feel. It helped me get along with my health journey, and it started me eventually being plant-based, but it didn't give me what I was thinking that it should have, if that makes sense. I eat only plants. I only eat fruits and vegetables. So if I want to make, let's say, a steak, I can make it in cauliflower. I can make it from mushrooms. Different types of, like, different mushrooms can make chicken. You can make it from jackfruit. There's different ways that you can make plant-based meals the same thing you love currently right now. And that's what I teach in my cookbooks, is how to make plant-based meals from a space of you being able to eat the foods that you love and knowing how to make those, understanding substitutes for protein. And in my Eating Away Diabetes Cookbook that I'll break down more, that Eating Away Diabetes Cookbook helps you not only be able to understand the breakdown of eating a rainbow plate, understanding your self-evaluation and getting that out of the way, also understanding how you've led yourself to diabetes symptoms or pre-diabetes or insulin resistance. So it breaks down insulin resistance, A1C, it breaks down diet culture, and then it gives you a whole bonus section outside of just the cookbook information. So that's all going to help you be able to break that down and be able to eat away diabetes, literally. What do you mean, why no fruits, Megan? What do you mean? So you eat plant-based. I don't necessarily focus on alkaline, but I do eat all fruits and vegetables, yes. Like, I don't focus on, okay, this is an acidic or a non-acidic fruit, because at the end of the day, if you have cancer, that's the thing you need to focus on. If you have a chronic illness that is making you unalive, like you have you're on stage 4 kidney disease, yes, you need to focus on alkaline foods. I've never been diagnosed with anything more than just asthma. I've never been diagnosed with anything chronic, if that makes sense. So I didn't need to go alkaline. I just focused on eating whole foods, because for me and a lot of other people, that's not going to make them feel comfortable. People don't want to necessarily have that restriction of going alkaline. Some people are okay with it. I was not okay with it. I didn't want that. And so what I teach you from a space of healing is comfortable healing, comfortable transitioning your lifestyle, comfortable change. This is what we do in our program. I literally tailor it to your lifestyle currently right now to make it comfortable for you to transition. You like to eat Oreos. Okay, let's figure out what Oreos are going to poison you. Like, do you understand? Like, there are plenty of alternatives out there. It's just a matter of you don't know where they are and you don't know how to find them. You don't know how to make them yourselves. Because at the end of the day, you should be eating fruits and vegetables more than anything. And we're not as a society. And we know this. They tell us this all the time. And we know that we're not eating enough. And yet we just keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, hoping that we're going to be healthy. And that's not possible. It's not possible. So let's talk about the role of inflammation and toxicity and get back on that topic. I'm looking at your questions. I see you. So like I said, you can drop them down if they're related. If they're not related, save them to the end. Inflammation is a silent killer. We know this. We understand that. I don't have a top 3 herbs. I don't have an answer to that. Like I said, and I do not promote anybody consuming or using any herbs if you're not using fruit as your medicine and you're not eating more fruits and vegetables than anything, because you're wasting your time and your money, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be as potent as they need to be, because they're going to be fighting and managing just like you're doing with prescriptions and medication versus healing, because that's what herbs are used for, helping you be able to heal internally. But if you can't heal when you're still feeding inflammation and parasites inside of your body, you can't heal if you're still eating toxic sugars. Like, you can't heal if you're still eating meat and dairy. So there's no reason for you to focus on a herb or a tincture or a supplement or anything like that unless you're using food as your medicine first. If you don't know how to read your labels, there's no reason for you to be going to get an herb. Like, you're just going to be managing just like you're doing currently right now. It's not going to help you heal. It's just going to keep you in the same space. So let's talk about inflammation, the silent killer, right? Thanks for the follows. I really appreciate it. So when your body is inflamed, it's like your body internally is on fire. Inside of you, there's a fire happening. And so these signs that you get, like inflammation, so you have acne, you're dealing with all these different issues with fatigue and mental fog, you're dealing with excess weight and you can't get rid of it. These are all signs that are like fire alarms going off inside of your body. This is literally like a fire alarm going off inside of your body. Thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate it. So it's damaging every single thing in its path, just like a fire. And in this case, this is causing different issues of, like, it can cause autoimmune diseases, it can cause weight gain, which feels impossible to lose, and weight fluctuation in general, so it feels like it's impossible to balance as well. And then it's also going to cause chronic fatigue, it's going to cause mental health struggles, and so it's really causing havoc from literally your head to your toes. Causing issues from your head to your toes. And thinking about from a space when you develop diabetes and insulin resistance, specifically diabetes, not insulin resistance, but diabetes. When you have diabetes, think about what it causes a block in. Your eyesight, your ears. It causes a block when it comes to your kidneys. It causes a block when it comes to your heart, because it leads you to having high blood pressure. If not, you develop that first. It causes issues with your kidney and damages your kidney. If not, you're already having kidney damage. And so then organs start to fail. Systems start to fail. Your brain starts to literally lose its own mind. These are issues all because you are literally festering toxins inside of your body and feeding it every single day. So toxicity doesn't just come from the junk food, but it's also in the things that you use, the products that you use. It's caused by stress levels. Like I said, when you internally stress yourself out every single day, you do realize that that harbors itself in tumors, that forms into tumors. And you don't release it in a healthy light, majority of you emotionally eat. So not only are you now sitting here feeding the crappy cravings that you have, you're putting toxic products on your body, and now you're also internally stressing your body out with food. So now you have tumors forming. The top offenders of these issues when it comes to the foods that you eat are processed sugars, refined carbs, additionally, all these packaged foods that you get, like for you eating deli meat and all these different things. And then there are external toxins, like I said, that come from meat, like you getting microplastics, pesticides that come from not only also meat, but can also come in non-organic fruits and vegetables. You being exposed to BPA, BHT, you eating mercury and all this different stuff with your fish. These are toxins that are not only contributing to your chronic inflammation, but are also leading you down a path of insulin resistance. You didn't know that that's tied to insulin resistance, but it is though. Because at the end of the day, it's not like your insulin resistance is a separate issue. It feeds off of each other. Inflammation, insulin resistance. You spike your blood sugar, you're also having an overload of inflammation. Perfect packaging for you to be able to develop a chronic illness or disease. So what's one thing in your life currently right now that you know that you are like, well, I can't be without my hot chips. I can't be without my cereal. I can't be without my ham or whatever else. And think about that, because it's not a judgment space. This is a no judgment space. You can be honest, but I want you to think about what is the one thing that you're sitting there thinking in your head, this is the reason why I can't change and transition. Could it be made in a plant-based form? Because I probably can guarantee you it can. I'm not saying your sliced deli meats can be made in a plant-based form and you can have a freaking ham sandwich. But what I'm saying is, if you like to taste the ham, you do realize that that's seasonings and an overload of toxins, because that's all the pig's taste is toxins, because pigs don't sweat. They don't sweat. So there's no release pathway through their pores because they have no pores to sweat out of. Even the clothes that we wear are toxic and hormone disruptors. Facts. They definitely can be. They if they're not made from 100% cotton or wool, some natural fiber, if it's made from plastic, it is toxic. So honestly and truly, think about, what do you have currently right now that you can make the best choice for yourself to say, you know what, I'm not going to keep feeding myself this. I'm not going to keep eating this because there's no reason for me to eat this, because I can make it in a plant-based form, or I can find the plant-based version. I can make the non-toxic version in my home. Because you can break the cycle and heal naturally. That's the good news for you, is that you can break the cycle. It's not an endless cycle of this is what I have to deal with. You can get rid of it and get away from it. Your body is designed to heal. If you do not know this, your body is a healing vessel. The Most High designed your body to naturally heal itself. That's the reason why you can break a bone and then boom, in 6 to 12 months, all that bone is completely healed. You're done with rehab. You can go back to your normal life. That's the reason why you can sit here and you can roll your ankle and be fine in a couple of weeks. It's the same reason why you can sit here and you can hurt yourself when it comes to any type of part of your body. Let's say you bruise your bone, you bruise your back, you bruise your leg, and it heals itself. This is because your body is a healing mechanism, and if you don't block the healing, you can allow your body to naturally do its own design. But majority of society is blocking their own healing, so their body cannot do its natural design of healing, and constantly is just sitting here trying to remove toxins and make it day by day. But when you remove toxins from the space of you're healthy, and then you also give it the right tools with the nutrients, so you give it nutritional foods, you give it whole foods, it can reset itself, flush, and then repair. You can reverse anything that you have going on inside of your body that is causing you to depend on a medication, a prescription, or a surgery. It's all the matter of what you want to do for yourself and how you do it. So, this is the steps for you to be able to reset your body, right? Eating whole plant-based foods are going to help you not only reset your body and flush your body, but it's going to allow you to be able to get all the healthy fiber that you need from vegetables, legumes, whole grains. It's also going to allow you to balance your blood sugar, and it's going to give you anti-inflammatory foods that are going to help you stop being so inflamed on the inside, which in return is going to lead you to not having inflammation on the outside as well. So, avoiding processed foods like processed sugars, these processed snacks that you like to eat. So your Swedish fish, your hot chips, your whatever other chips, you're sitting here drinking your terrible sugary sodas. All of those are processed foods that you need to get rid of because they're spiking your insulin and they're causing worse inflammation. But you don't get rid of things without finding replacements first. This is how you make yourself uncomfortable in the space of change. When you get rid of a bunch of things, you throw everything away, and then you have nothing to look at when you're hungry to feed that hunger, and the hunger starts talking. This is how you make yourself slip up and go back, and then you don't want to do it anymore. But when you have replacements and then you're like, you know what, I have this option, let me throw away the other things. When you are hungry, you're like, oh, I like that snack, I'll go eat that. But when you have nothing and you're hungry and you know that you're a snack demon in the kitchen, you're not going to be happy with that little healthy choice that you didn't even like. Because how many of you sit here and go get a Fiber One bar or whatever else, these little healthy snack bars, and you don't even really like it, but then you also have a stack of cookies and Oreos and you have all these hot chips and everything over there, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to save these for when I do a cleanse or I'm going to do a diet in a week or two, and you eat all the crap first. It's okay to admit it. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Majority of you don't even realize that, like, through these things that you eat with gluten and all these different things, when you eat gluten, it leaves holes in your gut. This is how you destroy your gut biome. But when you want to support your gut and you understand that your gut has to be supported, because if your gut is not supported, if you do not know this, that means your brain is also not being supported. So when your gut balance is off, that means your brain balance is also off. But when you are supporting your gut, you're going to incorporate more fermented foods like pickles, sauerkraut, things like that, kimchi. All of these, and avoid artificial sweeteners. If you are having IBS symptoms or issues with your gut in general, you have to avoid sugar to rebalance. You have to avoid all these processed carbs to rebalance, because you need things that are going to support your body in getting that pH level back to its normal state. Another thing that you have to be doing every single day is hydrating your body, because when you are drinking water, you are hydrating your cells. You're lubricating your brain. So that means you're also lubricating your bones, you're lubricating your organs. So this allows you to be able to be moving and feeling good and everything in your body flushing. You also need to be doing daily movement, whether it's something as just as simple as you getting on the floor and stretching, or you standing and stretching and doing stretches, you getting on the wall doing wall sits, maybe jogging in place for a minute. You can do simple things like that, getting on a walking pad. Or if you like working out, go work out. I don't like working out at all. I'm more of a let me see how I can get moving and get active for 30 minutes to an hour type of person. Let me see what I can do. Can I walk? Can I stretch? What can I do? If you're feeling overwhelmed and you feel like that this is a lot, and you know that like you want change and you've believed in diet culture, so you don't really know what to go do or where to go after this, I can support you. I got you covered. If you're dealing with diabetes, you have a complete total guide that is provided by me with my Eating Away Diabetes Cookbook that is linked in my bio. Because it's not only, like I said, it's not just recipes, but it's literally a step-by-step guide in how you heal your body internally away and get away from insulin resistance, which is going to break the cycle of this diabetes, because it's breaking the cycle of inflammation and it's breaking the cycle of your insulin resistance. So those two are going to go hand in hand with combating your diabetes. So if you are ready to start that journey, like I said, that link is in my bio. Go check it out. You literally it has a whole landing page breaking down not only the science behind it, but also giving you what is inside of the book and giving you a little exclusive and see what's going on. And there's a little freebie if you get it. This is only for a limited amount of people. So once I hit my limit, those people are going to be the ones that get that exclusive bonus, and the others don't. And there's also a bonus included in the book. So you get 2 bonuses with this book, okay? So before I get off, I would like to take questions from you guys. I'm going to give you a little recap if you were just now joining and you're just now here. What questions do you have for me? We talked about today about how toxic habits affect us and how they're fueling our inflammation and disease specifically. We talked about what insulin resistance is and what it's doing to your body and how it's damaging your organs. We also talked about how you can start using food as your medicine to heal. So drop your questions in the chat. I'm here to help you to be able to remind you or to help you be able to understand and realize what your healing journey needs to be started, or how it needs to be started, and you don't have to do this alone, and how you can be supported. What questions do you have for me? You juice a little. See, juicing is good if you are one of those people that like can do juice cleanses and not be hungry. I like to chew things, so I do more of a fruit cleanse, maybe sometimes vegetables included, but usually a fruit cleanse, and then I'll have juices with the fruit because I like to chew things, so I have to eat it. What do I eat in a day? I eat fruits and vegetables only. I might cook them, but in the form of what it is, it's fruits and vegetables, legumes, mushrooms, whole grains, things like that, mostly fruits and vegetables. I'm plant-based, and so that's what I teach other people how to do, how to make their own plant-based meals. I made an apple pie the other day. It was delicious. What else did I cook recently that was super, super good? I've created some new different recipes that I'm thinking about, because I'm thinking it's not going to happen anytime soon, because it was going to come before the Eating Away Diabetes, but that's such a heavy issue that we had to talk about. I will eventually be coming out with like a soul food version, not of Eating Away Diabetes, but just of like good plant-based meals. But that is not for the people that need to focus on their health first. That's for the people that are looking for inspiration, are already eating plant-based and just want to make more meals. You said, do you do organic? Yes, I only do organic fruits and vegetables. What's a good supplement for rice? They have wild rice. It's not necessarily an actual grain of rice like white or brown rice, but it is a type of, I think it's a legume if I'm thinking correctly. I can't think exactly what it is, but it is in the rice category in some way, shape, or form, because it literally looks like rice. So everybody just calls it rice, but it's wild rice. That's exactly what it is. And it's literally like little black long grains of rice. It's kind of like a long I can't think of what those things, like a basmati rice kind of like, but it's black. So that's the only rice you should be eating and that I recommend. It's the most expensive rice, but that's the only rice that actually helps. No. Black wild rice. That's what's called, wild rice. No other rice is healthy. Regardless of what they're sitting there like, oh, well, this is the best kind because it's the long grain kind. They still have different issues when it comes to them having, what was that thing that, is it arsenic? It can leak arsenic. It just has not enough beneficial value when you could get wild rice when it has plenty of beneficial value. Because not only does it give you different amounts of like vitamins and minerals, but it also gives you healthy protein. So wild rice is your best bet. The only one I can recommend. So what other questions do you guys have for me before I get off? Give me something to eat. I don't know what I'm going to eat, but I am going to eat something. I'm feeling like maybe like I don't know. I was thinking I had something, but I don't know. What other questions do you guys have for me? Thank you guys for everybody who's been here, who's liked up the live. Thanks for all the gifts. I really appreciate it. We hit 6.7K likes today. We're going to try to keep the lives going until the 19th to see what they do for this app. Hopefully they keep it. If they don't, like I said, we're going to keep it going. Best bread to eat is, there's quite a few. There's a couple different ones. But I do eat Dave's Killer Bread. I only eat the good seed. That's the only one that doesn't have any oils that are anti-inflammatory. I mean, doesn't have any inflammatory oils in it. You just need to be able to read your labels. That's really just what it is. If you don't know how to read your labels, then I do have a Purge the Poison ingredients ebook that is $11. It's only $11. That's going to help you be able to read all of your labels. And so if you don't know how to read your labels to know what is going on inside of your food, because these are common questions that I get, and people have to realize that you have to know how to read your own labels. And that's one thing that I teach you in the program as well as we go along, is knowing how you can do this for yourself, so you're not sitting there in the grocery store spinning in circles trying to figure out what you can eat and what you can't eat. Because if you know how to read your labels, then effectively you'll be able to shop. But if you don't know how to read your labels, you can't effectively shop. So you're going to be sitting there thinking like, a Fiber One bar that says dairy free is going to be okay, but you don't realize that that is fake fiber inside of that food. Or you don't realize that you need to be finding gluten-free options because you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm not allergic to gluten, but you don't realize the fact that gluten is literally going to affect your gut to the point where it puts holes inside of your gut lining. And so those holes are going to cause you to have different leaky gut. And leaky gut causes a number of different issues because it's literally leaking all the toxins that need to be absorbed, or all of the things that need to be absorbed inside of your body into your bloodstream, your organs, and different things that doesn't need to be where it doesn't need to be. What other questions do you guys have for me before I get off? Any more questions? Like I said, I appreciate all of you as always for being here. Thank you. Thank you. If you have not checked out that cookbook, go check out the landing page just so you can see if this will support you or anybody else. Of course, you can repair a leaky gut. Like I've said the entire live. If you missed this live and you did not catch this live and you need a revamp, it will be posted on YouTube. You can repair anything that's happening inside of your body. Just like you break a bone, just like you get a bruise, your body repairs itself from the inside first. So you just have to support it in repairing if you have a leaky gut, or repairing your insulin resistance or diabetes, or so you just have to support it in repairing if you have a leaky gut, or repairing your insulin resistance or diabetes, or repairing what's going on. You just have to focus on resetting first, figuring out how you got there, figuring out what caused these issues. So what other questions do you guys have? And I do have two cookbooks. I have a beginner guide, and then I have the one of Eating Away Diabetes. So if you're like, well, I don't necessarily think I have insulin resistance, which is great. It's amazing. But if you do identify with that, that book is going to help you with that. But I do have a beginner guide that is not as detailed as the Eating Away Diabetes, but it's a beginner guide. So like I said, it's beginner friendly. It's super easy for you to be able to understand, and simplified for you to be able to start creating plant-based meals that are absolutely delicious. And they're like the go-to to help you be able to prep and everything like that I use for me to be able to be plant-based. And here I am 4 years in, over 4 years in, and will not be going back. So thanks for liking up the live. I really appreciate it. I'm not seeing any more questions, so I am going to hop off. Thank you for everybody that's been here. Like I said, if you missed this live, it will be posted on YouTube. Go check out my Purge to Poison playlist. Go check out my plant-based mastery playlist on YouTube as well. If you were interested in looking at all the past lives, all the free content that I have, because like I said, all the free content that I give you is plenty for you to get started. But if you want to know how I did it, what I did for myself, and be walked step by step, this is when you tap into my products and my services. If you would need more questions, diving deeper in, this is when you tap into my products and services, book a one-on-one with me, because nothing that you do that is currently happening in your life right now that you've been doing is helping you heal. So you have to get away from what you've been doing and start doing new things. My YouTube name is Some Kind of Natural. Some Kind of Natural. How long does it take to heal a leaky gut? How long have you been harming your gut? It's not going to take a couple of weeks. Like, that's kind of the preference. There is no timeline that you can put on your body healing, because how long have you been damaging it? It's the matter of what are you going to do. If you stop today and you fast for 48 hours and then you only eat fruits for the next month, yeah, it'll heal pretty quickly. But if you're like me, who wants to eat food, you're going to have to take time. You're going to have to prepare yourself. It's going to be a long journey, and it's not going to be a hard journey. It can be simplified, but it is going to be a process of realizing that if you, for instance, a woman should be cycle syncing, regardless if you have a cycle or not, you should be cycle syncing with what you eat and how you fast, how you eat. If you want to eat some type of dessert, how you eat your desserts, how you eat your fruits and vegetables, what fruit vegetables. Like, this is the way that you should be filtering your month as far as what you're eating. But if you're not doing that, more likely than not, you're throwing off your balance every single month, which is going to also negatively impact your healing for your gut. So it's just a matter of what you do and how you do it. And if you want to learn more about cycle syncing, that is only available in my program. That's the only place that you can get my cycle syncing, because that is a whole process that you would have to go through the 12 weeks in order for you to really grasp the concept and for me to make sure that you're understanding. So that's not something that I offer with a one-on-one. That's something that you would have to go in the program for. Because that's a I need you to be contacting me kind of situation. The only time that you get free access to me, well, not free, but unlimited access to me, is in the program, because that's a boundary. Because people will worry you all day if you were in the health space of different things to get information and do nothing with it. You're not going to worry me all day and then be sitting at home still eating the bull crap. I was about to say a word that was not nice. So it's time for me to get off before I say something. If you have any questions and you don't want to share in front of everybody else, I always say that you can DM me. My DMs are always open if you have any specific questions, if you have any issues that you need a one-on-one step-by-step guide into on how to start healing. If you need a strategy tailored specifically to your life and you need help, I do have one-on-ones that will be able to help you with that. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day. You are so welcome. If you have not followed me on my other socials, go ahead and follow me there, just in case they take this app away from me, so you do not lose access. If you are on my email, you should have gotten an email today, because it's Wellness Wednesday. We have Wellness Wednesday every single Wednesday. We send out Wellness Wednesday. So you should have a Wellness Wednesday email if you were signed up. If you are not, go ahead and sign up, because you'll know where we go if they ban TikTok, as well as you'll get all those Wellness Wednesday emails every single Wednesday. And I guess I'm out. My YouTube is Some Kind of Natural. It's the same name on here. Just click on my profile. It is linked in my bio. It's linked in my link tree, and it's posted on my page. When you hit that little arrow and it comes down and it shows you the social medias, even though it might be the Instagram symbol, my YouTube is linked there too. So, like I said, it is linked in my bio. You can find it in 2 different ways. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. You are so welcome from all this information. If you missed the live, go check it out. It'll be posted on YouTube. All my past lives are posted there. Have an amazing day. DM me if you have any questions.